All right, Chat GPT, teach me to play Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. Sure, I'd be happy to help you learn how to play Nothing Else Matters. Okay, tuning standard, check. Step 2, chords used. We got E minor, G, D, and C. Got that. Where's the tab, chat? Let me get more specific here, because you have failed us, AI. Show me the tab. God. Here's the tab for the iconic intro of Nothing Else Matters by Metallica. All right, let's see what you got, AI. All right, I don't know what song that is. Maybe they're thinking of Everything Else Matters by Metallica. What? What the hell? We need to confront the chat about this. That tab is incorrect, chat. Let's see what the chat has to say about that. Okay, this time we'll get it right for sure. Verse 2 is in red for some reason. Whoa, 7. Okay, yeah, that's definitely Nothing Else Matters. You know what? I'm starting to lose my faith in AI. I'm starting to lose my faith in AI. I'm sorry to hear that you're feeling frustrated. My goal is to be as helpful and accurate in providing information and assistance. I'm constantly learning and improving based on user feedback and data. You know what? Let's find out just how smart AI is. I'm going to ask it some theory questions. Let's see. What key is Nothing Else Matters in? Because it couldn't get the tab right. Maybe it knows this. Nothing Else Matters by Metallica is in the key of E minor. Well, that is true. There's E minor. The chords, you got E minor, G, D, A. We did miss a few ones. There's also a B7 and a C2. C stands for country music sucks. Let's throw the chat a curveball. What's the relative Lydian mode in the key of E minor? Relative Lydian mode in the key of E minor is the A major Lydian mode. That's completely false, because if we're in E minor, which contains 1 sharp, F sharp, A Lydian is actually relative to the key of E, and that has a bunch of sharps. Got 4 sharps. Chat, you have failed. That's incorrect. How many sharps are in key of E Lydian? Key of E Lydian has 4 sharps. That's false. That's completely false. The chat is thinking of E major, but E Lydian has that raised 4th degree, so it's actually relative to the key of B major. I'm losing my faith in artificial intelligence. That's incorrect, chat. Apologies for the mistake. You are right, and I appreciate your understanding. Thank you, ChatGPT. Let's correct the information. In the key of E Lydian, there are 2 sharps. That's even more false than the previous answer. There's actually 5 sharps. Ditch AI and solo like a guitar god using music theory with my brand new course below in the description. Tell your story with soaring melodies and effortless virtuosity. Now, no joke, my revolutionary approach is really powerful. It's almost like cheating. It's like taking guitar steroids. Kiss lack of motivation goodbye. Ignite your inspiration by understanding the mindset of great guitar players. It's about breaking the chains that bind you and learning how to solo in 3 basic steps. This works for any song. You don't have long though. This breakthrough course will be on sale for 50% off for the next 7 days. Hurry! All right, guys, break open your Wap Juice. It's 666 degrees in Los Angeles today. We got a lot of fun stuff to check out in this video. Listen, I want to be honest with you guys. I am sick of doing Metallica videos. I don't think the Metallica fans ever get sick of Metallica videos, but give me some feedback in the comments below. What other topics would you like to see? We're going to explore quite a range today, so see how you like it. Cheers. First up, Lars is being a dick to Robert. Check this out.
Let's check out Lars messing with Robert on stage during this new tour.
Gotta clean that off. Name that song. Can you recognize that track? Robert gets his revenge in this clip by rizzing up the crowd. Look at the intimacy in these recent Metallica shows. I mean, they're just right up in the crowd. Look at this. Just walks right out in the audience. That girl didn't even see Robert behind her. Turn around, bitch. Robert's loving it. I'm better than Cliff Burton. Get some congrats. All right, so Robert wins at the end of the day. Sorry, Lars. Who's been to a metal show this summer? It is the season of metal shows. Everybody's getting out, checking things, checking out the metal. Look at this. Jack Black apparently is a Pantera fan. I had no idea.
Don't even look at that one. You got some antique animatronics? I got some old stuff too.
I got that Frank.
Wait, what? We're talking about animatronics here, apparently.
Starting to drop his pants.
That is pretty good.
I have to point out Jack Black's attire. Look at this. This is incredible. He's got the Pick of Destiny. Even the shorts match the shirt. Like, this is an incredible metal presentation here. I thought I had the Pick of Destiny, but I think Jack Black is keeping it hidden somewhere. I'm going to award Jack Black an honorary 666 points for that incredible metal style. For some reason, Dream Theater singer is looking different these days. I don't know what's going on, but check this out. Don't recognize that guy. There's John Petrucci. Oh, okay. We know James LaBrie. I'm free. Preach it, brother. Who's that guy? Wow. Feel that deep within my soul. As a lot of you probably know, that's Devin Townsend. He's on tour right now with Dream Theater and Animals as leaders. Speaking of Dream Theater, Rick Beato did a recent interview with John Petrucci and the boys, and they were talking about practicing. The question is, do guitar gods still practice?
What are you guys working on? Like, what are you practicing?
Mm-hmm.
Do you practice every day?
Yeah, I do practice every day.
John still practices.
What's something you're working on right now? Do you have a warm-up routine that you do every day or anything?
Yeah, so I guess I've been doing this forever. I try to warm up in string, numbers of notes per string. Like, it's a very Steve Morse way to do things.
Okay.
Right? So I kind of can pick.
All right, let's see these warm-ups.
Is that just to get your
Beautiful music.
get your right hand?
Yeah, it's focusing on really just getting this hand to navigate across only one string at a time.
I'm curious, how do you guys practice? What John's doing here isn't musical, but it serves a very technical purpose, right? He's just acclimatizing his physiology to the instrument. The guitar, like navigating the guitar is actually really challenging. The way that it's set up, it's easy to get trapped in between the strings, you know, when you're fingering that G string. If you don't have the Pick of Destiny, it's not that easy. Let's see what Tosin does here. Look at the way he holds his pick, man. It's like
It's kind of
very bizarre.
Milk that whole 2 number string.
Perfectly. I love it.
It just takes a phrase and makes it sound like orange. But warm up, it's interesting to me that you're still warming up with these foundational, because I've gotten weird to where I don't really warm up in that way anymore.
Right.
But I spent years doing it, the metronome thing, and then I'll probably put on like a backing track.
Devin Townsend just staring off into
improvise.
space. So this idea of practicing is really interesting. I've been thinking really deep thoughts about practicing. I go on like a 6.9 mile shred walk, and I came up with this perfect practice routine concept. There's a lot of people skip steps in the process when they play guitar, right? You might be a beginner and just starting out, and you go straight to the sweep picking level, you know, like the 5th step, and you're skipping everything in between, like the music theory and the songs and basic technique. So when you sit down to play, like, how do you engineer a session that gets you maximum gain? So first, you got to start out with a quick win. You know, this could be like a warm-up or something that the main thing is that it doesn't challenge your mind, because practicing is difficult, right? We have busy schedules and lives, and setting aside time, you know, to finger your G string and handle your hardwood isn't necessarily first on your agenda. So you want to get this momentum going. Do something easy when you first pick up the instrument, and don't like try to just crush yourself with learning something crazy hard like Flight of the Bumblebee, or, you know, something that's difficult. Number 2, try a new idea at this point. You're kind of riding this high from, you know, the quick win, and now it's time to introduce your brain to some new information. So this could be a chord, a lick, a riff, something like that. After that, you want to solidify that new knowledge with creative exploration. I think a lot of people skip this part. It's really important that you make ideas your own, because that's how you remember them. If you don't take ownership and find your own voice within a concept, you're much less likely to remember it and become attached to it. So that's really the way to remember things. Because people ask me all the time, how do you remember all the modes? Well, you have to make them mean something to you, right? Number 4, work on some songs. Songs teach you a lot of things, you know, from music theory to technique. And it also just helps you interact with the collective consciousness of musicians and the musical language. This is a very important step. Number 5 is music theory. Music theory is something that really allows you to communicate with other musicians. You might have good ideas in your own mind, but you don't have a legible system by which to translate that. So it's really important that you learn music theory. It's a classification system, and it's not a system of rules, really, that's telling you what you can and can't do. It's just like, hey, this is a shortcut to getting the sounds you want. That's the right way to look at music theory. Try to make music theory your slave, your bitch slave, right? You know, it's something that is in service to you. And finally, jam, you know, or free play. This is when, you know, it's your time to shine, and take everything that you've been learning throughout the practice session, play over a backing track, and just let it flow and see what happens. You know, you're building your own voice, your own approach. Listen for the sound of your unique voice, right? It's easy to get drowned out in the world today with just the fire hose of media we expose ourselves to every day. Take a minute and spend some time alone, for God's sakes. Oh, okay, more Wap Juice. I call this segment Reggaeton Rage. I don't know if you guys have ever heard this reggaeton beat, this rhythm. Check it out. If you go to the top 5 songs, like anywhere, it's always this beat. Listen. This is literally driving me insane. Like, I have to talk about this because I live in Hollywood, and every time I walk along Hollywood Boulevard, every car is just emanating this sonic pollution. It's all the exact same beat and rhythm. Every shop, every storefront is just exporting this nuclear trash. You know, it's like everyone's become like a carbon copy clone of each other. I understand that we need to use like universal music formats to communicate. Familiarity is popularity, right? You can't just like totally reinvent the wheel and do something weird. But there has to be some space, some room for your unique individual voice to come out. And what we're doing right now is we're just smashing everything into this really narrow, compressed window. You know, it's only appropriate to have this reggaeton beat, which, you know, it's not a bad beat or anything. It's just, is there anything else that you got? I mean, I'm losing my mind, people. Oh, man. Little lifestyle update. What have I been up to? Well, check this out. I got some shoes recently, and they're pretty cool. Pretty fly kicks. You got the black and blue color, which isn't supposed to work, right? Blue on black. But I think they're pretty great. The cool thing is that when you look at the tag right here, it says whoever wears these shoes can play at 666 speed. So I've been working on some really big ideas recently. What I'll do is I'll often light up a cigar and I'll go for a walk and think, just focus, you know, with the F word. I call it my puff and ponder sessions. And I came up with this idea called the BBC. I think you know what I'm talking about. The secret to this idea, it's about overcoming any challenge. It doesn't matter what you're struggling with in life. The first step, the first B in the BBC is believe you can do it, right? If you quit before you even start, right, with negative thoughts, then you're definitely not going to achieve your goal. Let's say you want to be able to play 16th notes at 180 beats per minute, which is pretty fast, right? If you start out by thinking, well, that's too fast, I'm not going to make it, I don't have the time to practice, I'm not talented, guess what? You're not going to make it, son. So step number one, you got to believe you can do it. Step two, break it down. BBC, believe you can do it, break it down. Challenges in life are complicated, right? And what we often do, like in the skipping steps meme, is we just go right to the end and try the most challenging thing. But the way you get better at something is by sequential steps, right? And you build one step on top of the other. Let's say you want to be able to lift a lot of weight in the gym. You know, when I first started working out, I wasn't very strong at all. And what I did was I started with a low weight, and then I add a little bit more weight, and then a little bit more, and a little bit more, right? So you have to break down your challenges into individual steps that are manageable. Because if you start with this big idea, you want to be, you know, a guitar god, let's say, and you just pick up your axe and start playing with your wood and expect, you know, to be at that level initially, what happens is you quit. Right? First step is super important, and that is celebrate your success. The reason this is so important is a lot of us skip this part, taking away the potential for future gains, because as human beings, let's face it, man, we're emotional people. You know, David Hume, the philosopher, said that reason is the slave to the passion, and I really think he's right. We need emotional energy to conquer our tasks in life, and so you have to fuel yourself. I don't care if you know, let's say you moved up on the metronome only 6.9 beats per minute, or 0.6.9 beats per minute. Throw a motherfucking party. Celebrate like it's 1999. Is going to give you energy to face your next challenge, right? If you don't celebrate and if you just go head first straight into the next challenge, again, you're going to get worn out, you're going to get demotivated, you're going to lose inspiration, and you're going to quit. And this is something I've struggled with all my life. It's a celebration. I don't know about you guys, but my back hurts quite a bit because of practicing, right? You'll be standing up, posture isn't the greatest. In fact, last year when I got my Les Paul, I literally threw my back out for a month. It was the worst thing ever. What I eventually figured out was, I went to the doctor, I got an MRI, and I finally figured out that there's a couple key exercises you need. Try these exercises here. So number one is the Superman. So if you get down on the floor and you start flying like Superman, like I'm doing here, that really engages the core muscles in your back. It gets really the whole thing. Then you got your upward dog. This is great for like your shoulders. You'll hear, oh, you might even heard that right there. You feel like, you know, the pops and the release in your shoulder muscles, the traps. Now the twist is really good too. Putting torque Measured torque on your back is really important. Shoulder stretch, another big one. I know a lot of people struggle with their shoulders as guitar players. These literally saved my life. Like, I'm not even joking. These are a really big deal. Try them out. If you don't have access to the gym, there's actually a lot of ways to achieve that masculine physique without, weight. So check this out. You can do push-ups is massive. Like, if you do 100 push-ups a day, you'll be shocked at the physique you can develop. So that, gets your chest, shoulders, triceps, get a little titty bounce afterwards. Pull-ups, lats, biceps, delts. Another incredible compound movement, meaning it's targeting more than just one muscle group in the body. Shoulder press, everybody overlooks this one as guys. Like, the shoulders are literally, that may be the most important aspect to a masculine physique. Having that width. You can do it with your guitars if you don't have weights. Literally, actually, that would work. But you get your front, your side, and your rear delts. But having that width between your waist and your shoulders is huge. It's time for a joke. What is the holiest chord? Jesus.